We know that in ancient days it was customary in every culture for there to be the priests, those who had the responsibility for managing the religious things, those who would offer the sacrifices, those who were sustained in their life too by whatever amount they were permitted to take off the top of the sacrifices. And their job was only that, to be custodians of the holy things, to make sacrifices for those who came in, to go into the holy places. And because of this, the priests have had a reputation for selfishness, for greed, for taking more than is their due share, and for having in mind only to maintain the mysticism of the sacrifices so that their livelihood is preserved. A priest, in the worst way of thinking about it, in the ancient days, was a parasite, concerned with nothing, never putting himself in any danger, only taking the animals, the offerings, one who dealt death for his own life. Before us we see the great high priest who does the opposite. He does not take any other sacrifice. He offers himself as a sacrifice. He does not deal death to someone else. He gives his back to the smiters, his cheek to be spat upon, his neck to be stepped upon, his side to be pierced, his hands and his feet. Instead of dealing death for the sake of his own life, he accepts death so that he may give to us life. And every priest before or since is a pale shadow of the perfect sacrifice offered by the Lord on this day. And from this great and holy Friday, 2,000 years ago, there is a new law for Christian people, that those who would be great within the church are to serve and to pour out their life. And not just the priests, for all of us now are called to be priests in the manner of Christ. As he accepted the cross, we are called to accept the cross as well. For what suffering that we know can equal this? What evil that comes to us can be worse than this? It matters not how unfair, how unjust, how unbearable our life may be. How can it equal this? For this reason we say, surely he has borne our griefs and has carried our sorrows. And the very chastisement of our peace is upon him. He is wounded for our transgressions. This, our God, shows us the way to life, shows us that it passes through suffering, through sorrow, through pain and through grief, and yet shows us that as the sun rises, there is hope. There is a reason we do not put purple flowers on the wreath. because this must be a sign of the Lord's resurrection, not only of his death. It prepares him for burial and heralds his resurrection. It shows to us that he is there willingly, offering himself, not taken and constrained by violence. It shows that he is master, even as he is helpless. That even as the cross is the means of his death, the weapon of his destruction, he takes it in his hands and makes it the weapon of peace with which he descends into Hades and brings life to Adam and Eve and everyone bound there. In the church today, we see the wonder of Christ. He lowers himself. He humbles himself. He is killed. We kill him. And through this he brings us life. Some 100 years ago, a philosopher in Germany said, God is dead, and we have killed him. And he did not mean what we mean today. But let us behold, God is dead, and we have killed him. And yet he says, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And we who in our brokenness have been the cause of this, receive from this the remedy of all our brokenness. On this Friday morning, may we stand in fear. May we tremble in awe. And may we begin to rejoice at the gift that is given to us, at the salvation that comes unhoped for, unlooked for, from the greatest evil ever done. May the Lord of love give to us the hope of the resurrection. Amen.